So if you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you're familiar with EF Ultimate Break, whether you have been on a trip or not. Just in case you're not familiar with EF Ultimate Break, they are a group travel company for 18 to 35-year-olds, and they have 120 plus trips over 6 continents all around the world. And I have another video that I did on what I wish I knew before traveling with EF Ultimate Break for the first time, so if you're curious, I would click on that video before watching this one. But these are 5 hacks on how to make your EF trip better and get the most bang for your buck. So if you're new to my channel, I'm Karina, and I have been on 4 trips already with EF Ultimate Break. I'm a brand ambassador for them, so I'll give you that discount code at the end of this video. But my first trip with EF was to Belize in 2021, and I was immediately hooked. I ended up booking another trip right after I came home from that trip to Iceland, which was in 2022 in March, and it was the coolest trip ever. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't signed up for it, you should definitely do that. And this year I went to Colombia in March with EF, which is now my favorite trip to date. It was absolutely incredible. But I recently got back from Croatia, which is another one that I would say you have to do. And I will link the 2 vlogs that I did below for that trip. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I have a little bit of experience with this company, and I would say these are my favorite ways to take your trip to the next level. So number 1, book your own flights. And I know there are pros and cons to this, but my favorite pro is that you can usually save some money. So what I normally do before booking a trip is check out the flights on Google Flights to see if there are some deals going on, or if I can use miles that I already have on different airlines to book that trip for basically nothing. The other benefit of this is that you can pick when you want to fly in. So let's say you want to fly in a couple days early, or you want to stay a couple days later, you can absolutely change your itinerary. It's your flights. You can do whatever you want. Also, I found that the EF flights that they book for you typically have more layovers to try and save you money, and they also have partnerships with different companies, which isn't always the easiest way to go. So I find booking my own flights, I can avoid that whole mess and either book a direct flight or one with fewer layovers overall. I can pick my seat, whether the aisle seat, the window seat, whatever I feel like flying. And you can also choose if you're trying to fly home to a different airport or fly out of a certain airport that may be smaller and they don't fly to. Sometimes it helps to book your own flights that way. The only cons to this are that sometimes you can get a first class upgrade if you book with EF and they happen to bump your flight up and you get elected to first class. It's never happened to me, but it has happened to a few of my friends, and I am extremely jealous. Also, when you first arrive on your trip, you will be met with the tour director in the airport if you book your flights through EF. If you don't and you book your flights by yourself, you can either coordinate with the tour director to try and meet them at the same time that the other people are flying in, or you'll have to find your own transportation to the first accommodation. I've never had a problem with this. Usually I'm landing at the same time as somebody else. I can coordinate with them if their flights are booked through EF, and then I just take that shuttle to the first accommodation. Or taxis and taxi services are usually pretty cheap, and then I just go through that, and it's never been a problem for me. My second hack is all about customizing your itinerary. So when you first are looking at trips, there are optional excursions that you can add on to make your trip even more fun. Or if you feel like having a relaxation day, chilling at the hotel, exploring more in the city, you can opt out of those excursions and then take time for yourself to do whatever you want. Normally, I love the options that EF provides. On our past Croatia tour, we had 2 day trips, one to the Krka National Park to see the incredible waterfalls that they have there, and the other to Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina, which, checking another country off my list, absolutely sign me up. So I've done both of those. But on my past trip to Colombia, there was an optional excursion to do a coffee tasting plantation and then a whitewater rafting excursion on the second day in Medellin. And I thought, not really my thing. I like adventure, but I'm not super into coffee, so I'm going to opt out of that. I ended up meeting one of the other girls who opted out of that excursion, and we did a day tour to the RV National Park, which you take the gondolas up to the top of Medellin. There's a big forest up there, an ecological reserve. We were able to check that out. We came down to Plaza Botero and got to explore more there, which was definitely worth it. I got to see more of the city than I wanted to, and I got to have more of a relaxing day than some of the people who were doing the whitewater rafting excursion. But I did hear that it was super fun. Either way, I think you'll have a great time on your trip. One thing I like to do, especially if I'm flying in the day before or staying behind a little bit, is check out the excursions on a third-party app like Get Your Guide. I love the ones that they have available, and we did some really cool ones when we got to Iceland. We got there a couple days early so we would have more time to explore. Some people took a day trip to the Snæfellsnes Peninsula and got to see more of that side of the island, which was really cool. But if you're looking to do something like that on your days off, or if you opt out of the optional excursions, I have a 10% off discount for you on your first excursion below. You just have to download the app and it should be activated. I really like some of the ones that they have on here, especially the food tours. I feel like that's a great way to get to know a new city. But there are plenty of active tours that they have, day trips. You can find all kinds of things on this app. That brings me to my third hack, which is either go early or stay behind. So for a $75 fee, EF will book your flights earlier or later if you want to stay and explore more of a city or destination that you're looking into. They will change your flights to the date of your choice and back to your home airport. Just be sure to let them know of this adjustment before you book or when you're booking, or at least 90 days out before your trip. Another thing that you can do, which I think is so cool, is back-to-back trips. I haven't done this yet, but I'm really excited to test this out next year, I think. Usually, especially if you contact the trip consultant before you book, you can get a better deal booking 2 tours back-to-back. I really like this plan, especially if you're traveling for longer, like you have longer flights to your destination. Say you're going to Japan and you want to add on Vietnam or even Thailand, you can book these trips back to back and maybe save some travel time in between. The only thing to note is that you are responsible for your transportation between the trips and your stays between the trips. So your accommodation, your transportation, all of that, you'll have to take care of yourself. Other than that, I think it's a great plan for shorter trips, especially those that are around 8 to 10 days. If you book them back to back near a similar location, I think it'd be really fun to see different countries that are not too far away from each other. My last hack is to use your repeat discount. So if you're traveling for the first time with EF, you get $100 off your trip using the link that I'll have down below. But once you've traveled before with EF, your discount goes up to $250, and then you travel again, it goes up to $300, and that discount never expires. And you can even combine this with other deals. So when the semi-annual sale is going on, like it is right now, you can also get an extra $300 off that sale price with your repeat discount. And even when you book back to back, if the price is discounted because you're using multiple trips, you can still get $300 off with a repeat discount. So always make sure to add that at the end. Or if you forget when you're first booking your trip, you can either ask a trip consultant to fix this issue for you, or you can go into your EF account, hit the support button, and then make an amendment from there. But yeah, those are my 5 hacks to make the most out of your EF travel experience. If you have any more questions, you can leave them below in the comments. I have so many more trips that I want to do with EF, and I have one coming up fairly soon, so I can't wait to show you more of that. And if there's any destination that you'd like to see me go to, please drop that below and I'll see if I can make it happen. So subscribe and hit that like button if you like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!